You know those days when you're feeling really lazy, so instead of cooking food for yourself, you decide, what the hell, I'll get some Taco Bell. So you eat some Taco Bell. Sure enough, dinner time comes around, and then you think, I'm kind of hungry, but Taco Bell was kind of good, but like, what's like a higher quality Taco Bell? Chipotle. Or, as professionals say it, Chipotle. So you eat your Chipotle, and about 30 minutes to 45 minutes later, you realize you made a terrible mistake. You rush to the bathroom, and what happens in there, God only knows, but it makes you doubt your faith. Or if you're an atheist, it makes you question if maybe, just maybe, God is real, and he's punishing you for some reason. But obviously, we've all been there, right? Or at least has anybody been there? Because I'm there right now, and honestly, I'm scared. But maybe you've all experienced that, but have you ever wondered what would happen if the toilet crap suddenly just started talking? And then multiple pieces of the crap all started talking, and they started their own panel having a little discussion. Well, congratulations if you have ever had some kind of weird scat fantasy such as this one. It is now a reality, because Piers Morgan recently had Blaire White, Brandon Tatum, and a few other people on to argue about LGBT stuff, and let's just say, it's total crap. What's up, everybody? Hunter Avalone here, and welcome back to another episode of White Guy Destroying Minorities. So only a few days ago, Piers Morgan posted this video titled, quote, "I want a straight month. Piers Morgan waves his straight pride flag." So, okay. I guess Piers Morgan took like a fresh batch of stupid pills this morning or something, because I don't know what his problem is. And to make matters worse, he's hosting Blaire White and Brandon Tatum. So we have Piers Morgan being an idiot, Idiot 1 and Idiot 2. Whew. Why would you put a biological man in a woman's prison?
Previously to Nicola Sturgeon insisted on putting a male rapist into a female prison. And at that point, most Scottish people rose up and went, this is completely insane. Why would you put somebody who's in a male prison, having committed crimes as a biological male, into a women's prison where he can attack other women? I mean, it just...
So first and foremost, you're going to hear a lot of conversation about, like, maybe there should be a separate prison for trans people and whatnot. To be truthful, there should be a separate prison for sex offenders.
It is insane, and it's because the fear of being called transphobic, even the state fears it, which is really scary. Well, and at the end of the day, it's like...
But yeah, actually, let me ask James.
Wait, that's why this is happening? Because even the state fears it? I know they're talking about Scottish something or another, but I went ahead and did some research on the UK specifically, since that's where Piers Morgan's show is and everything else. There have been no assaults by trans inmates in women's prisons since reforms were made. Transgender women held in women's prisons in England and Wales have committed no assaults or assaults since reforms were introduced in 2019. According to the government. So that's the first thing. At least in the UK, where Piers Morgan is, where he's making a big fuss about all of this, saying how insane this is and everything else, it doesn't seem like trans women in prison with cis women is a very big risk or a very big danger. Even more so, if you want to look at how trans women are actually treated in prison, trans women are at far greater risk of being abused rather than being abusive themselves. Robust evidence shows that trans women are at a significantly higher risk of abuse and assault than the general prison population. A 2007 study from the University of California found that incarcerated transgender people were 13 times more likely to be sexually assaulted than a random sample of incarcerated men. 59% of transgender prisoners reported having been assaulted within a California correctional facility, compared to just 4.4% of the incarcerated population as a whole. I can't speak for what's going on in Scotland or whatever, but I can say, based on what we're seeing in the UK, it doesn't seem like trans people are very dangerous, and it does seem like trans people are in danger if they're to be incarcerated with a bunch of men.
James, You literally, you come in, week out, and you talk for trans people, and you tell them how they should all be thinking about this.
No, that's
you've
not
literally,
true.
well, hang on, you've just literally...
Instantly, his phrasing of this is bad faith. You tell trans people how they should be thinking about this. No. Nobody's saying that.
heard a trans woman, identifying as a trans woman, explain to you why you're wrong. Are you going to now tell her, as a gay man, are you now going to tell her how she should be feeling?
Wait, what the fuck? Is Piers Morgan going woke right now? What is this identity politics? You, a gay man, going to tell a trans woman how to feel? Hey, they're both in the LGBT community.
I just wanted to pick up on the point you said where, you know, people in politics are afraid to be transphobic. That is absolutely not the case in this country, where our Prime Minister will happily make transphobic jokes and get away with it.
Well, it's shifting now. It's shifting now, but we're leaving an era where it was absolutely, you know, a thing that was happening where you couldn't speak against the movement. You couldn't be seen as on the wrong side of history.
It's shifting now from a place of being too accepting of trans people to being less accepting? Oh my god, she actually thinks there was a point in which everything was just too accepting of trans people, and now it's kind of going back to baseline. Does she not realize that trans people have always been at higher risks of abuse, of being victims of violent crime and whatnot? This didn't change. Blaire White does not understand what's going on, clearly. And yes, this is me, a cis white male, telling a trans woman she's wrong. And even more so, I'll go a step further, she's retarded.
Now it's shifting because people are becoming aware of these excesses that we're talking about.
But is that okay
and there's this weird
for a Prime Minister
dissonance.
to make those kind of jokes?
Is that okay? There is no room.
I don't really care about jokes. I don't really care about jokes. And the idea that jokes...
And by the way, just to be clear, the joke the Prime Minister made was in reference to the fact that the Labour leader is incapable of...
Can I start doing identity politics now that Piers did it? Piers, why did you just cut off the black lady and start talking over her? Sheesh. Is this giving anybody else some American history vibes?
And by the way, just to be clear, the joke the Prime Minister made was in reference to the fact that the Labour leader is incapable of saying what a woman is, right? And believes that 99% of women don't have a penis. Okay, let's not get into the graphic.
And if we want to get...
I mean, would you say that 99% of women have XX chromosomes? Probably, right? But there's a good percentage of women that are actually XY chromosomes. Females born with XY chromosomes. Well, I can't say what a woman is, but 99% of women don't have penises. Okay. 99% of women have uteruses. But actually, like 1 in 4,000 women are born without a uterus.
If we want to get very literal and slightly personal, that sort of thing affects me exactly 0%. But men, trans women, and biological males being in women's prisons is actually going on a realistic level going to affect me more because it makes me look like...
Why is it going to affect you, Blaire? What kind of crime have you committed? Finally, an explanation. The only way she could possibly afford this much plastic surgery is if she's laundering money. Okay.
Women's prisons is actually going on a realistic level going to affect me more because it makes me look like one of these people. So if I had to choose between which one I want to...
It makes me look like one... What? Gee, I wish that, like, all the white Florida men would just stop, you know, having sex with crocodiles, because they keep making me as a white guy look bad. Do you realize how stupid I would sound if I seriously made a statement like that? But this is unironically what Blaire is saying right now. Because she's bigoted, because she views trans people or individual trans people as spokespeople for the LGBT community, she doesn't want trans women in women's prisons, even though there isn't an uptick in sexual assaults, but there is an uptick in sexual assaults when trans women are put in men's prisons. So basically, because Blaire White is a bigot, trans women should continue to be put at a higher risk. Bravo, Blaire.
Stop happening. I really don't care about jokes. And because I'm a normal person, I care more about women's safety.
And again, I come to you, Jay.
Yeah, but you don't care about trans women's safety, right? Because you're just assuming that trans women are dangerous to cis women, even though there's actually no evidence of that.
I will come to you, Officer Tatum. You're waiting very patiently. But James, again, week in, week out, you are enraged by all this. You think it's terrible that trans people should be able to do all these things. They should be able to compete against biological women at sport. They should be able to put in women's prisons. They should be able to do the blah, blah,
I've
blah,
never
blah, blah.
spoken on women's prisons, actually.
So you don't think they should be?
That's a misquote.
So just
I think...
Well, hang on, just to be clear. Hang on, okay. Hang on, you put me up.
Yeah.
So let me give you the chance to clarify. Do you think trans people should be put into women's prisons?
I think that
Yes or
they
no?
should be safe,
Yes or
as
no?
should all prisoners.
Hang on, what's the question?
That's not
my
an
answer,
answer,
Piers. I'm
though.
not going to
That's
get
not
dragged
an
into it. I'm
answer.
not getting dragged into it.
Yeah, that's definitely a non-answer. That definitely comes off like a cop-out answer. I feel like the better answer is yes, until there's evidence to the contrary. Because right now, the evidence does not seem to suggest that trans women are particularly or uniquely dangerous to cis women in prisons. But also, I will say that there needs to be exceptions to this, of course. I do think that if you have or assaulted a woman in any way, even if you transition in prison, you just should not be going to a women's prison. I think that if you're in prison for a woman, you just shouldn't be put in women's prisons. So sure, like what Piers was talking about at the beginning, there are flaws in some areas with how these policies are being carried out. But again, these are issues with the policies. This does not mean that trans people are invalid or that trans people are dangerous. That's not what this means. It simply means that the policy is still in its early phase and is still being adjusted accordingly. That's why we just saw reforms made to the UK policy, which seemed to really improve things. It made things better and safer for trans people and for cis women, which is a win-win situation.
I'm not getting dragged into it.
You dragged yourself into it.
I don't understand the
You
prison
denied
system.
ever saying it.
But I'm not a trans, as has been pointed out, I'm not a trans woman.
Hang on.
I'm not a trans
Oh,
man.
now you're backing off because
No,
there's a trans
I
woman
have
actually
always
here.
said that. I have always said
Here's
that, but
the
I
issue.
but so
Here's the
often I'm
issue.
thrown into this panel without another trans person being without a trans person
Right, but
being
now
here,
you've
and I
got
have
one.
to be the.
Well, now
So
you are.
thank
Let me
God
just
you're
go
here
back.
Let me
to be able to talk about
let me
it.
just
Let
ask.
me-
Hang
let
on
me-
one
let
second,
me-
everyone. Hang on one
back.
second. I just want to ask Joe, because you did pick me up on this. You stopped me to pick me up on it. So you've made it an issue. Just for the record.
You said that
just
I
for
made
the-
a comment on it, and
Just
I
for the
haven't.
record, should trans women be allowed to be put into women's prisons? Yes or no?
Honestly, I have no understanding on the issue, and I don't want to make a comment.
Fantastic.
On it.
And
But I
you-
won't be
Come
told.
on, I mean, that's like, even if you don't have an understanding on it, it's not that hard to be like, generally, yes, but I think that, of course, there needs to be exceptions based on the crime. So, like, if they're going to prison for rape, no, trans women shouldn't be going to the prison with women. If they're going to prison for, like, selling marijuana, then yeah, who gives a fuck?
Told that I have an
And
opinion.
yet you
on it.
think that
And the
trans women
issue-
athletes should be allowed to compete against biological women?
Yes, I do think that.
Do.
Yeah,
And you see no
absolutely.
inconsistency in these positions?
I don't really know
Right.
because I haven't made a comment on the prison.
All right, let me bring it up as a
Because
tatum.
he's scared to be.
I'm not scared.
Here's
He's
the thing.
scared to
Honestly,
be
I'm not.
shamed.
People like
I
this-
The
think
same thing that Blaire said. Let me talk. The same thing that Blaire was saying, that people are afraid to be called transphobic and all this stuff. And so are you.
I'm
You
not
won't
afraid.
be honest and tell the truth about the fact
Why is everybody just, like, telling this guy what he thinks? Poor dude, he signed up for a panel, not a psychic reading.
that it's absolutely mind-blowingly ridiculous to think that a man with a penis that's impersonating a woman or think he's a woman can be in a women's prison. That's insane.
But this is
you
where the
seem
dis-
to
Why is it insane? Well, you see, because Brandon Tatum said so. Wow.
you seem to think it's no disagreement, brother. The man has a penis
It's
and
a
he's
woman.
in a cell with a
They're
woman.
She's a woman.
Wait, is Blaire a man? Officer Tatum, are you misgendering your panel member? Isn't there like a rule against that?
With a penis.
No.
A woman with
You
a
don't-
penis.
I believe a trans
Then
woman
why
is
are
a
you
woman.
guys
Problem with
ending
society.
up pregnant?
This is a
Listen,
problem
I
with
don't know
society.
what's
Don't all
going
talk
on
over
here.
each other.
Let me finish.
Yeah, let me
This
finish.
is the problem with society. We need to be logical, reasonable, and operate in facts.
And
It is a
respectful.
man.
Okay, so what do the facts say? That trans women are at a high risk of being abused in male prisons. Trans women do not seem to pose a significant risk to cis women when they are in women prisons. So, logically speaking, then it would actually make sense for trans women to be in prison with cis women.
Man that identify as a woman. It's not a woman. It's very simple. Why can't we get that correct?
Well, why can't
Well, the reason we can't get it correct is because you have gotten it incorrect, and you're just saying things. You didn't make an argument, dude. You just said things. You could be up here screaming about how your pigeon got hit by a car and it would have about as much relevance to this conversation.
Know how
Blaire,
things...
as the only trans person on this panel, what do you feel about what Officer Tatum just said there?
I 100% agree. And I don't know exactly what goes on.
Wait, does Blaire not consider herself a woman? Is this another instance of Blaire being like deliberately disrespected and misgendered on a panel and she's just like, well, it's better to appeal to all the people that hate me?
I 100% agree. And I don't know exactly...
Wait, how do you 100% agree? Officer Tatum just said if you have a penis, you're a man, you're not a woman, then that's that. Okay, so Blaire doesn't think she's a woman. I'm sorry, should I say he? What's the respectful pronoun now?
What goes on overseas in prisons. I'm an American, but what I do know here is just about once a month, there's some kind of story about a female inmate in a federal prison becoming pregnant, being raped, because at the end of
About once a month? No, actually, there was one story about a female inmate that got pregnant by a trans person, and it was consensual. They maintained that the relationships were consensual, though the Federal Prison Rape Elimination Act defines all sexual contact between prisoners, including consensual acts, as misconduct. Okay, so it seems to be like a legal gray area there. But as far as the social context, it sounds as though this was consensual.
Becoming pregnant, being raped, because at the end of the day, these are biological males with the capability to impregnate women, And the idea that trans safety should always...
What? Just if they have the ability doesn't mean they're gonna do that. I have the ability to drive my car off the bridge, and I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I might do that if Blaire White keeps talking, but generally speaking, I wouldn't do that. Just if you have the ability to do something doesn't mean that that's going to happen.
Women, and the idea that trans safety should always trump women's safety, I just don't understand that.
No, it's actually that trans people's safety trumps unfounded, irrational fears and fear-mongering from people that think that just because they're a trans woman in a woman's prison that they're going to go on some murder rape spree. What this really is just facts trumping feelings. I mean, you have a bunch of people that feel afraid, and then you have the facts. Which one are you going to prioritize, Blaire?
Understand that. And the other problem with people like this is they never offer any solutions. So for me, there are such things as LGBT wards in certain prisons in America. And for me, that's a very easy solution to this problem.
Solution.
Put trans people in LGBT wards.
Maybe put sex offenders in their own wards first. Like before you start talking about like the trans safe space in jail, maybe we can focus on a new separate ward for sex offenders. Maybe we just keep sex offenders out of the general prison population.
It's the trans person safe, and it also keeps women safe.
Yeah, I completely agree with that solution. I think my issue with this conversation is that it feels like a smokescreen for transphobia, and a lot of the time people do hide behind it.
People do.
I don't think anybody here is
panel triggered. Panel triggered.
There are a lot of women, biological women, as you would say, in women's prison that are also raping women, and no one is talking about that. No one's discussing that. Everyone just talks about the 1%.
Oh my God, Blaire's actually getting hung up on him saying, as you would say. He means like she says biological women. Those are the clarifying terms that she would prefer to say. As you would say, like the biological women, she's not even listening to the argument. She's like, as I would say? I didn't just say that. Oh my God.
And no one is talking about that. No one's discussing that. Everyone just talks about the 1%.
Also, not to be rude or anything, but her plastic surgery looks terrible. She's like melting. And what happened to her lips?
And no one is talking about that. No one's discussing that. Everyone just talks about the 1% of trans people that live in this country that probably aren't going to prison.
All right, let me bring it.
And it isn't.
As you've made clear, James, you're not prepared to pass comment on this, and we know why. Because you don't want to say what is actually the obvious reality, which is it's insane.
Here we go again, of the same, we know your real intentions. That's just so bad faith. They would actually have a much stronger argument if they took it the direction of, it sounds to me like you're just too afraid to say what you want. That sounds way better and more compelling than, well, we already know what you think. You're just too scared. Like that just comes off accusatory.
Because your fear that you will be accused of being transphobic, which is, of course, very ironic, because that is the word that is used about all of us whenever we try and stand up for women.
Hey, I'm a liberal, and I'm not afraid to be called transphobic at all. Okay, I will gladly be transphobic to Blaire White only.
I do understand why
Even
you're saying
me.
that, but by coming on here and supporting trans people in the way I do, I'm constantly called
I support
rumour
trans people
by your fans.
But you know what? There's
Is that
such
not
a
also
thing.
scary?
I
It's
would
very
love-
brave
As
of
I've
me
said to you,
have this opinion.
as I said to you, and as I've been consistent in print and
Well, you've
on
ignored
air,
what I said.
I have always defended trans people's rights to fairness and equality. I do want to bring back Esther just on this one point.
Okay, that was embarrassing. I really like that Piers cut Blaire off there, and so all Blaire responded was what I would say. Like, he just cut in right there, so all we got was Blaire just being like petty, because that's really all she has. She just has like the hair flip and the fucking eye roll. This one got messy. Thanks for having me, Piers. Yeah, I have a feeling that Blaire's plastic surgeon said the exact same thing. This one got messy. Anyway, they go on to start bitching about something very important, something very, very pressing. And that is, there's apparently a new pride flag. And if you're not already really mad about it, you need to start getting angry right fucking now, okay?
Myself, because I don't lie.
Now, there's a new pride flag. I tried to read out all the initials that go with pride these days. I can't keep up with it. More and more people seem to get added to it. But it's a weird picture of this pride flag. Let's take a look. It looks like the
It's
Old
ugly.
Testament.
Okay, as a member of the non-gay community, I will say, that flag's fucking ugly. Wow, that is real. That is ugly. Good thing I don't need to care about the flag to be accepting of trans people and gay people. Phew.
Test card on television.
Showing your age.
When everything froze.
looks like a
James, what am I looking at?
pig
It's a psychedelic vomit mess, isn't it? What is it?
It's ugly.
I love that it's got an umbrella, like
It's ugly. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror, Blaire?
Honestly, like, I don't really get it. Like, I don't understand why we need to keep changing it. But what I do understand
Why
is that
do
it
they
doesn't
keep
matter.
changing it?
But it's fine. You know, that's the point with a flag. Like, we can change it. We're not stuck in our ways like straight people. We're not going to get upset by
But
the England
should we
flag being
change it?
redesigned. Well, it can if it wants to. It's changed a lot over the years, and people
But
continue.
should-
And I really like that too. He's like, who cares if they just change the flag? It's true.
Say again, Blair.
There shouldn't even
I
be
said
there
we
shouldn't even
can
be a
change
flag.
it, but should we?
Well,
Sometimes
but why
things
not?
are okay
I mean,
to flag
we didn't invent
There
the
shouldn't be
rainbow.
a
God
flag.
invented the
If
rainbow.
you're-
We use that as a
There shouldn't
symbol
be a
to
flag.
let we use
should
that as
not
a
be a
symbol to
flag.
let people know.
Why is Brandon Tatum here? It's like when you're forced to let your like autistic little brother play the game. That's what I feel. He's just like, there shouldn't even be a flag. Hey, there shouldn't. Hey, the flag. It shouldn't be there. Hey, there shouldn't even be a flag. Like, what is this guy doing? He's not adding any commentary.
Know that
Well,
they were
actually, you raise a good
We
point there. Officer
need
Tatum.
to
Yeah,
we
go
don't
on.
need to do that. I think like if
It
you're
is
an
weird,
American, you're all encompassed under the American flag. We're all Americans, whether you're gay, straight, blind, you can see, crippled. It doesn't matter. We're all Americans, and we should be accepting of one another.
All Americans, so we have the American flag. We don't need other flags. Well, I mean, I know the Bible says God hates flags, but also, wouldn't it be really ironic if Brandon Tatum here, who is currently shitting on the LGBT flag, saying we only need the American flag, wouldn't it be really funny if he actually sold flags? Dude, the jokes just write themselves. TheOfficerTatumStore.com. Tatum shield flag. What happened, buddy? Oh, I thought we only need the American flag. I thought there shouldn't even be a flag. Honestly, there shouldn't be this flag. That flag's fucking ugly as shit. You know what? Officer Tatum's flag is so ugly, he's managed to make the LGBT's new flag look decent. But seriously, what a hypocrite, dude. Why do you have an impeach Biden flag? Hey, that's not the American flag. Where's impeach Biden on the map?
You're all encompassed under the American flag. We're all Americans, whether you're gay, straight, blind, you can see, crippled. It doesn't matter.
Also, by that logic, why do we have state flags then?
We're all Americans, and we should be accepting of one another. We don't have to like one another. We don't have to like what each other does.
I'm
but
really glad, by the way, that we don't have to like one another, because I really don't like you, Brandon Tatum.
we should be accepting, and that's the way that normal people believe. It's the trans and the LGBTQ AARP.
So wait, are you saying that
hateful and
when you go
divisive.
past like a Ford factory and they've got like a big
Wait, trans people are hateful and divisive? Isn't it like the Republicans and the conservatives that are passing legislation to try to block trans people from getting the treatment they need? Isn't it Republicans constantly fear-mongering about trans people being evil, machines the minute they get put in women's prisons? Yeah. Where are the trans people being divisive and everything? Usually it's just trans people or members of the LGBT community shitting on chuckle fucks that are viciously homophobic and deserve a little bit of bullying on Twitter. Listen, if you're a homophobe, I'm okay with you getting cyberbullied.
Big Ford flag outside or a Chrysler flag, or are you not allowed those flags because those flags don't represent
So
the
you're
company?
saying-
Oh, look, he's calling him on it. Let me go back.
Are you saying that
hateful
when
and
you go
divisive.
past like a Ford factory and they've got like a big Ford flag outside or a Chrysler flag, or are you not allowed those flags because those flags don't represent
So
the
you're
company?
saying, you're saying that.
Well, you're saying that I can't have a pride flag because
you actually
because
cleared
the
it up.
American
You
flag
guys
does the
are-
job. So
the
does that mean all
LGBTQ
flags
is a
are banned?
business. No, what you're saying
Oh
is
my god, he just missed it completely. He missed the flag thing completely. Next time before Brandon Tatum speaks, somebody needs to just like play the Windows XP shutdown sound, and it would make so much more sense. You said we don't need the LGBT flag because we're all encompassed under the one American flag. But there's other flags also, like for businesses and whatnot. Are those flags okay? Or should they kind of be ignored or shat on because we have the American flag? And this guy's like, the LGBT is a business, you see. He just missed it completely.
American flag does the job. So does that mean all flags are banned?
business. No, what you're saying is that the LGBTQ is a business. Is that
No,
what
I'm
you're
not.
saying?
I'm
You
using
guys are
a crazy
representing an
analogy to
agenda.
try and understand what you're
No,
saying about
you
how
don't need a
my
flag.
identity
You don't
as a
need-
gay man
Let me-
is not allowed because
It's
I'm also
different.
Because
British.
it never ends, brother. It never ends.
But
You
why
guys
does it
are gonna
matter
have
to you? It's only you
400,000
that care.
colors
Look, I know you guys are
twist
all
and
really-
It
turn.
never ends. It's got so many colors. Oh man, dude. POV, Brandon Tatum's first time opening a bag of Skittles. Oh my god, what the fuck, dude? It never ends. There's so many twisties and colors. Ah! You're talking about a fucking flag, dude. Unless you're gonna have a fucking seizure, then you have nothing to worry about, Brandon.
I'm all right.
I've got a
Thanks.
straight flag for
I'm
you.
fine.
Flag.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh no.
There we go.
There you go. Do you feel like you're part of it now? Do you feel happy?
Here's what I feel is the reason they keep changing the pride flag.
I actually think it's really good that they put Piers Morgan's face on here and they're saying it's the straight flag because it's like all it takes is a gay guy seeing this flag with Piers Morgan's face and bam, he's turning straight.
Flag.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh no.
There we go.
There you go. Do you feel like you're part of it now? Do you feel happy?
Here's what I feel is the reason they keep changing the pride flag is the definition of what it is to be LGBT has now been increased to so many ludicrous numbers of digits, numbers, and nobody knows what it means. It has lost
Well, then
all
why are you getting
meaning.
so upset
Nobody
about
does.
it?
It is
It's lost all me. Pierce, did you know that when you're talking about the LGBTQ community, you don't need to say all the letters? It's not required by law. Okay, the fucking British Queen didn't declare it. You can just say LGBTQ. You can just say trans people. If the acronym keeps growing and growing and growing, don't use the acronym. It's one of these amazing things that we have. It's called the freedom to use words.
means. It has lost
Well, then
all
why are you getting
meaning.
so upset
Nobody
about
does.
It used to be just lesbian
Nobody
and gay.
does.
We get
And-
it. Okay, well, I'm happy. Be proud. I'm proud of you, right? We are about to
Wait, really? It used to be lesbian and gay, man. What's wrong with that? It used to be so easy, but I'm stupid. My brain can't fucking comprehend more than 2 categories. Ah!
I'm proud of anyone who wants to come out as gay. But here's the thing. We are about to enter Pride Month again.
Yeah, I can't wait.
A whole month of shouting about being gay.
Dude, we're not even in Pride Month yet, Piers. Can you at least save the bitch fest for when we're in Pride Month? Half the fun of Pride Month is watching all the conservatives have total meltdowns and go into diabetic comas because gay people are out and proud. That's half the fun. Come on, dude, you're spoiling it.
Why?
No,
Should
it's
be a
about
nightmare.
shouting about being
Why?
LGBTQIA+.
Nobody tells you you're gay every
Here's
day of
the
the
thing.
year.
Every
The fact
day,
that
every
they're
day.
gay-
Proud and
Mark.
proud. Why do you need a whole special month? And where's my month?
You don't need a straight
You're
month.
straight every day, Piers. Why do you need a month, huh?
Fact
Why?
that they're
I want a
different
straight
gays
month.
You know
and
I'm
why?
now the most
flag.
marginalised member of community.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because the rest of the year is always straight. Every day is straight. We live in a
Any-
society that is straight.
Are you serious?
It's a
That's not
straight
even
jacket
Good, that's
When
around
was the
That's
us.
how
last
you were
time
born.
anybody spoke up?
He's just not explaining this well at all. But what he really should be talking about is it's true that we made a lot of progress and things are a hell of a lot better for gay people than they used to be. That is true. However, there's still more progress to be made. We know that trans people are still at greater risk of being abused or being victimized in various different crimes because they are trans. If a straight white guy is to face some kind of difficulty, it's very unlikely that he is in this circumstance or he's getting beat up and attacked or something because he's a straight white guy. But for members of the LGBT community, far too many of them still face discrimination because of their status with this marginalized group. And that's really the crucial difference, the distinguishing difference. And unfortunately, this guy's just not explaining it well at all.
You were born
middle-aged straight white
good.
guys
Do
like
we
me.
need you? Because you're the patriarchy, Piers.
We
Stop
are.
this stupid
No, we're
argument.
not. We are.
Dude, I'm a liberal and I'm rolling my eyes at this guy. Oh no.
We are actually the minority now. We're the minority group.
Right.
In this
Well,
country.
finally.
Let me move on.
Based. Honestly, Piers Morgan becoming the minority, I don't think I would have that much of a problem with. Well, that was a total train wreck. Instead of talking about a straight month or a gay month, I just think I'm going to need a full month off to recover after I just watched this. Thank you everybody for suffering with me. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and consider becoming a member to try and make my suffering worth it.